Oh, good googly wooglies. Get my coffee here this morning. Morning. Preservation Thursday, folks. Preservation Thursday. A little early out here on the West Coast. Got a big day ahead of me. I got to talking to some people in town today in Reno. As most of you know, looking for a new sustainable agriculture program for Alladay LLC. It is June 29th, 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 a.m. out here on the West Coast, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're going to have a great day. It's going to be a great day. It's another 90-degree day here. I don't know if I should call this Scuttlebutt Thursday or Preservation Thursday. Got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of scuttlebutt out there. A lot of chatter in the threads. And before I go any further, I want to say this. I have inquiries out everywhere right now. I'm a little early this morning, so perhaps that's why I haven't got any responses back from everybody. We have scuttlebutt everywhere on the planet right now. I'm not one to hang dirty laundry. I don't like that. I don't, if you're gonna bang somebody, bang them, but have facts. Don't have innuendo. And right now I'm seeing a lot of innuendo, and that's why I call it scuttlebutt, because nobody's actually confirmed any of the reports I'm seeing. For example, is Safeguard on the ropes up in the New England area? Are they having problems delivering on contracts? Can't get a confirmation from Safeguard. I don't know. Haven't heard back from VRM. VRM, is there a investigation on the VA award by the FBI? I don't know. VRM never answered back. Remember last week, VRM was going to do a phone interview with me, Miss Cheryl Tyson Johnson, at the last minute. I want to say this right now. We went back and forth for about 4 emails to set a time for the interview. 30 minutes before the interview, I get notified that Cheryl Johnson can't keep the interview because a more pressing appointment came up. Okay. So Ben, who was facilitating, he was the mediary. He sent me an email. I sent back the questions. We all know the questions I asked. I have not heard on that. I get this cryptic message. VA award is under investigation by the FBI, and the name Colorado, Cody, and Murray is involved. What it's about, I don't know. I can't get an answer out of VRM. So they're hanging in the wind right now. Get a hold of me. You got information? Got the comments down below. So let me know. Scuttlebutt on NRES. I know the company has some growing pains going on right now. Could the scuttlebutt be disgruntled individuals out there making claims? And this is when you say in a thread that people are having drug and alcohol problems, people are quitting their job, people are going on medical leave. If you're saying this in threads where I look around and see information, back it up with facts. If nothing else, and I am addressing every member of labor who does this. If nothing else, do not, I'm begging you, do not be like all these goofy news outlets and use an anonymous source. An anonymous source told us, and there is no anonymous source. We know this. I mean, let's be real. We know this. We know there's no Russian collusion. Although in the property preservation industry, hey, we never know. Hey, but the big news today, before we go any further, court updates, July 5th, next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. Penalty phase for FAS, trial phase for AMS. We'll let you know next week, folks. Let's hope we hear something next week. But we're looking, is there class actions going on? I mean, Safeguard might be the next company on a class action. And what I haven't really figured out, I mean, everybody wants to say California, but the judges in California are interpreting federal law. And I don't think they're interpreting federal law that liberal either. They're kind of putting the screw on the federal law with the employee independent contractor situation. And again, you guys have heard me say it before, and I'm going to say it again right now. Mr. Miller, Mr. Mingham, Mr. Newman, you're the 3 key players in the industry right now. You are the 3 key players in the industry that can bring everybody to the table and have a conversation about this employee independent contractor issue or another issue that's dear to my heart. A quality control program. I want to tell you something right now, folks. And I firmly believe you can't budge me on this. If we want to clean this industry up, the first place to start is with a uniform quality control policy for the industry. Day one, you get a work order issued to you on day one. You perform, your company performs a property condition report. Day 2, you have submitted on day 1 that property condition report. Day 2, you negotiate everything on that property. All the services that are needed, you negotiate them on day 2. On day 3, the work starts. If it's 150, 200 yard trash out, of course it's going to take more than 24 hours, and that needs to be accommodated by all parties. That is going to stop all the nonsense, and that policy right there, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about this for a minute. Day 1, you have submitted all the information, the property condition report. Day 2, you are negotiating. You're a business now. You're not an employee no more. You're a business now. And that is why I have firmly said, and I have been saying this for almost 7 years now, the industry needs a standard minimum. That's the place to start right there. Quality control, it's there. When you get done with that job, you send a blind person in to inspect. And when I say a blind person, I'm not talking about somebody that doesn't see. You pick a name out of a hat for your quality control program, and you send them in there to inspect the work that others have done. That protects your company from a chargeback. That whole process will stop the illegal chargebacks that, oh, by the way, Mr. Ward was involved with back in 2003, according to reports coming in now by foreclosurepedia.org. Foreclosurepedia.org, ladies and gentlemen, you're up to the minute. Fraud reporting ongoing. We're going to get into that in just a minute here, ladies and gentlemen. Before I get there, that cutie pie up in Richmond, Virginia, Kim Savage, Women at Work Incorporated. You need services, Richmond, Virginia area, she can take care of you. Property management needs, call that girl, man. She can take care of you. 804-539-4333. Kim Savage, Women at Work Incorporated. She can get you taken care of. Not a problem. Hey, folks, one of the things that came across my desk this week was from a young lady. She's a legal constitutional lawyer. And I'm going to put the link in just because I feel it. This little podcast she did, Political Prostitutes, kind of relates across the board to what's going on in property preservation. Just think about it. But I'll have the link in there. There's going to be a lot of links. Nationwide. Remember, we've been talking insurance, folks. Nationwide promoting small business insurance. I'm going to say this again. A good insurance agent is going to sit down and have a conversation with you about your needs for your business. Every business is different. I mean, I offer different services than other preservation companies did, for crying out loud. Why? Because I'm a glazer. I can do custom woodwork. I can do custom glass work. I can install windows. I know how to set mirror on the wall and butt the corners together and polish them up, make them look all nice and groovy. That's not a skill that every preservation company has. In that respect, I have different insurance needs than the guy next door that's removing debris and mowing the lawn. Different insurance needs. And a good insurance agent will sit you down, discuss your company's services, and come up with a policy for you. That's a good insurance agent. A good insurance agent every 90, 120 days is going to get a hold of you and say, hey, John, have you added services? Have you taken services away? Are you doing something different? Do we need to adjust your policy? You never know. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you hired an employee that has 20 years roofing experience, so you can add roofing into your little arsenal. It's something you can do now because you have that knowledge. And maybe not roofing work because your state requires a roofing license, a contractor's license for that, but you can at least offer inspection work. You can offer quality inspection work. You got a guy on the roof, different insurance. That employee moves on, he goes somewhere else. John, your agent gets a hold of you. John, what's going on? Well, I lost my roof guy, man, so I'm not doing roofing inspections anymore. Maybe your premium comes down a little bit. That's a good insurance agent. Nationwide, might be worth giving them a call and see if they can help your business. And remember, it's your business, not a member of some organization's business. It's your business. You went out and paid for the license. You are paying for the insurance. Be a business. Be a business. The drive-by media. Property Preservation Information Exchange Group on Facebook. Holy cow, it is lit up. And guess who's resurfaced? My buddy Joseph. How you doing there? Cindy been peeking at my profile. I'm not sure why. I know they know who I am. But John Johnson, has anybody ever worked for Smooth Edge? I'm going to say this again. Smooth Edge. Red flag. I wore a red shirt just in honor. I got a red napkin this morning just in honor of Smooth Edge. Red flag. Smooth Edge? Before we go further than that, let's go look at something here. I got a couple pages pulled up. I got to show you. Let me see here. Here it is. I Google Smooth Edge Preservation Company. What comes up? Pre-foreclosure and REO. LEC is the nationwide REO service company, leading edge company. When I Google Smooth Edge, I get pictures of tack strips, boxes, Smooth Edge can opener, Smooth Edge tool joint. No Smooth Edge Property Preservation Company. That's a red flag. Somebody's going to sub you work, does not have a website, and they're called Smooth Edge. I just got through saying I don't like hanging dirty laundry, but this company's burning people. That's a red flag, dude. Do some due diligence, ladies and gentlemen. John Johnson, and he admits, hey, this is my first rodeo, blah, blah, blah. But what I want to get to, though, is a couple comments by Joseph Hummel. Joseph Hummel, I filed over 20 liens for a client to force payments they refused to pay. they eventually paid. It was ridiculous how they operate. Let me see here. I got to find another statement that Joseph said, because I really have a serious bone to pick with this comment that he said. I help a lot of companies getting off the ground, just starting in P&P. I'm not real sure what Joseph is doing now. I do know this, and this is not anything that's going to go away. I'm not going to let it go away, because Joseph Hummel wrote illegal policies and hurt companies' reputations by writing illegal chargeback. It was very scandalous. Chargeback policies for Keystone, a couple companies over in Illinois, Indiana, I think it was. I'm not sure exactly where those companies were in the Midwest, but those people got a hold of me and said, he destroyed our company. They're not in business anymore. But Mr. Hummel is saying, liens force things. You got in bed with a loser and they stole $800 of your hard-earned money. You can't let companies take advantage of you because this industry is the Wild West. It is not fair. I've been around long enough to know. Hold them accountable. If you need help, I will help you for free. This company is a sorry excuse and gives all of us a bad name. I'm going to give Joseph the benefit of the doubt and say he's turning over a new leaf, because this was not the talk that Joseph was talking 3 years ago, 2 years ago. This was not the talk coming out of Joe Hummel. Let's hope he has turned over a new leaf. Let's hope he is helping people for free. But I remember, and a lot of people remember, the scandalous chargeback policies that he wrote for companies and instituted under business development. Joe, I really hope you are doing what you're saying in that spot there, because maybe you've atoned, trying to atone for what happened in the past there, but thin ice still, thin ice. But Smooth Edge, that should be a big red flag, folks. Let me see here. What was the other ones? Oh, yeah. We get all the analogies. People walking around with money hanging out of their pocket, getting robbed and stuff. But once again, I have said for years, I've been an advocate for education in the industry for a long, long, long time. And in my humble opinion, part of that education process should be a little business 101. You know, if you got problems with liens, you don't understand the lien process. Scott Wolf over at Z-Lien, great website, zlien.com. Get a hold of Scott over there. Tell him I said to call. He'll help you out. They have lawyers in every single state that are licensed in every single state that can advise you of the law in that state. So they understand the law, they understand construction law, and they understand the lien process in every single state. As a business owner, that is your last defense. It is your defense. They can't force the waiver. It is your defense to get paid. Always remember that. That is your right as a business owner to get paid. The lien process is how that's done. Why don't they want you filing a lien? We're going to get into that in just a second when we talk about bids and John Ward and NAMFS. That's the next thing we're going to come to. Non-payment issues have been going back. They're documented in emails, NAMFS emails, far back as 2003. Processing. You need processing? Candace Cornwall. Candace Cornwall. She can help you with processing needs. 405-695-4426. She's in Oklahoma, I believe it is. She's good. She is extremely good. She doesn't get chargebacks. She doesn't get bid rejects or anything. She knows her stuff. She can help you out. She's good. Has anyone ever worked for Smooth Edge in Maryland? Very bad company to work for. Not been paid in. This guy, they owed over $4,000. He got $600. My humble opinion, the name Smooth Edge would have sent all kinds of red flags up. So we're going to put Smooth Edge on the watch list, folks. We got to put them on the watch list. They're stealing. Let's talk about John Ward. Let's talk about John Ward. John Ward, of course, was the founder of NAMFS. Recently passed away, so I don't really like talking ill of the dead. But everybody kind of put this guy on a pedestal, talked how great he was, what he did for the industry, blah, blah, blah. Turns out, John Ward may not have been all the great guy people think he was. Turns out, John Ward kind of put a term together that I find rather interesting. Primary contractors are denying payment. Trading partner issue. That was the term developed when non-payment discussions were going back on internally at NAMFS as far back as 2003. The term trading partner issue. That's kind of like one of them government things, isn't it? You know, they'll come up with. Remember the the tobacco industry. They didn't call it a cigarette. It was a delivery device. Wow. Kind of like the play on words Monsanto's always using in the courts. Trading partner issue. Trading partner, you, labor. You're the trading partner. They're trading with you. You're the trading partner. The issue? Non-payment. That is what trading partner issue translates into. It was generally agreed that HUD's primary relationship was with the mortgagee or mortgage servicer. Okay? The agreements between the mortgage servicer and the primary national contractor and down the stream site providers is not regulated by HUD and is a trading partner issue. In other words, and I'm going to call out Craig Carnes one more time on this. I just sent him some stuff last night. I'm going to call him out again. Why are you giving a contract to a company in Texas that cannot do the work in Nevada? Why are you giving them a contract in Nevada? Why isn't that HUD office in Reno looking for companies in that area to do the work, in Las Vegas to do the work? You have you have a HUD office in every frickin' state. Why aren't those people in those offices recruiting local talent to do the local work? Doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense to give a company in Texas, and I'm not banging Best Asset. I don't know them. I mean no ill will to them. It makes no sense. They don't have a way. They do not have a mechanism to deliver. They can't do it. They can't do it. How does 3 people in an office in Texas do the work in Nevada? I mean, I don't know how many people are with Best Asset. I'm picking on them kind of because as an example, but this is going on everywhere in the world. The VA just gave a nationwide contract to VRM. How do they deliver in 49 other states? You can't. All right, let's get real for a minute. You can't. And that's the big problem under Eric Miller's supervision, allowing that organization to pyramid and parlay this industry. This is madness. Trading partner issue. Trading partner issue. HUD has established that the current system of debris removal provides economies. Does it really? Here's the thing, folks. The numbers coming out of the gate are not bad. $50 a yard. It's $50 a yard for a reason. Because you're doing a HUD contract. Oops. Government. Prevailing wage. Oops. And once Best Asset takes their percentage and subs that work to Nevada, prevailing wage is taken out of the question because nobody can pay it now. Therein lies the problem. Some cases outsourcing is good. In this case, it's not, folks. And this work needs to come direct. It needs to come to the states. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. Tell me one of those outfits that doesn't have an office in every state in this country. Think about this. This is labor. This is where labor has to start coming together and communicating with each other and saying, hey, wait a minute. We got to draw a line here somewhere, folks. This is where Brian Mingham, Eric Miller, Tony Newman come into play. These are the three pretty key players in what's going on in this industry, and they have the ability to sit down at the table and say, hey, look, maybe we do need to put a quality control program together. Maybe we do need to put something in place to stop the madness. And Craig Carnes, maybe you need to utilize the offices in every state and have those people start earning their paycheck because, oh, by the way, as a HUD employee, guess whose taxes pay your salary? The people that are getting ripped off in the industry by the people you're subbing the work to. Come on. I mean, this isn't rocket science stuff, folks. This is just basic understanding of how a business model works. If you need help, I got a little business 101 package. It's only $50. Holy cow. Another name that surfaces in this mess. Speaking of drug and alcohol abuse. Melissa Shankin. Christy Hankey. I'm telling you, some of the names that I've seen involved in these documents that are being produced in this report, foreclosurepedia.org, ladies and gentlemen. Get over there and take a look at this article. It is very, very eye-opening. Richard Law, of course, with Sophie. At this point, Richard Law indicated that his procurement background with the government leads him to believe that this is clearly inappropriate as costs were not being properly disclosed to HUD. This is why it's important to lien a property. I don't care what that work order says. I don't care what it says in a contract. Subject matter jurisdiction is where the work is completed, not the office in Miami, not the office in Dallas, not the office in somewhere in Pennsylvania. If you did the work in Logan, Utah, subject matter jurisdiction. If you did the work in Seattle, Washington, Fairbanks, Alaska, Cheyenne, Wyoming, I don't care where that work is done. That is where subject matter jurisdiction occurs for legal proceedings. File a lien. And this is why you file a lien. The bid you submit to a national, to a regional, to whomever has provided you the work order, that property does not belong to them. When they start cheating you, and I've been saying this now for 7 years, poppycock on not being able to file a lien. You can file a lien, it's your business right. If you have a business license, you're entitled to file a lien in your jurisdiction for work you have completed. I know this for a fact. I've done it. I've done it. So is somebody else that's pretty prolific in writing in this industry. We both have done it. We're not talking out our neck because we like to hear ourselves. We're talking because we have experience in filing a lien, and we know we can do it legally. It's a legal procedure. That said, when you place a bid with company A, okay, well, I'll get generic here. We're not going to call companies out. But if you place a bid with the person who issued you the work order, that property isn't theirs. It belongs to somebody else. That somebody else might be a member of NAMFS. I don't know. I know Wells Fargo is, Bank of America. Many of the mortgage outlets are. Many of them are. But when you file a lien on the property and you call out the company that didn't pay you, they're going to be put in the crosshairs by the person who owns the property. How many times do you think Wells Fargo, how many times do you think Bank of America, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, anybody is going to tolerate their properties being liened because Bozo in bum blow New Mexico doesn't pay you? How many times do you think they are going to tolerate a lien on their property when a company doesn't pay you before they say, hey, you know what? Give us that contract back, get out of here, close your door? How many times? And I'm going to put it to you a different way. Let's pick on Safeguard for a minute. They're the nationwide big dog beating everybody up, cheating people right now. I'm sorry. To me, that's a bad company. We would never do business with them. The owner of my company never wanted to be associated with Safeguard or NAMFS for that matter, but especially Safeguard. She did not want to be associated with that company. And in hindsight, it was probably one of the best decisions that as a company we made. What would happen today if, say, in Pennsylvania, a couple liens were filed, 2 properties were liened. In Chicago, a property was liened. In Dallas, a property was liened. In Nevada, in California. What would happen if you were being screwed by Safeguard if 20 or 30 properties got liened across the country? You don't think Wells Fargo, if it's a Wells Fargo property, is going to say, hey, what's going on? And then what happens next week if it happened again in another 20 different locations? And on and on and on. The domino starts falling, folks. You're a business. You're not an employee. You're not a lackey. You're a business. You have gone out and purchased a business license. You have gone out and purchased insurance. You have been forced to have your employees' background checked by a third world company. You have been forced to buy insurance from somebody. You are being forced to buy tools, equipment, materials from said vendors to do a job. That's an employee. That is control. And that's what the courts are ruling on right now. It is control. They have too much control. And this is why I say, Mr. Miller, Mr. Mingham, Tony Newman, come on. The industry can save face right now by sitting down at the table and saying, hey, look, this is a decent quality control process. This is a decent inspection process. And this can resolve a lot of issues in this industry. And it takes that off the table. It takes that element off the table of employee independent contractor issues, because now on every single job that you're being assigned as a vendor, quote unquote, an independent contractor vendor, quote unquote, you're able to negotiate the fees based on your business cost. If you think for 1 minute that me knowing it cost $25.70 to dump debris, I'm going to accept $18, you bumped your head. I need $50 at dumping fees at $25. I have photographed the fee structures and I posted them before. How anybody can work for $18, $14, $20, $25 and make money legally? They can't. They're cheating. They're dumping garbage somewhere else. They're not doing things by the book. This process can stop that. This process can level the playing field. Just think about it, folks. Just think about it. And it's like I'm saying, this is something Mr. Miller has the ability. He has a massive membership that he supervises or he oversees. He's called an executive director. I don't think he likes hearing all the trash that gets talked about the members of the organization. I can't envision anybody being a director of an organization that would appreciate all the negativity towards an organization, especially when said negativity is true. Mr. Mingham, another national company. And the reason I bring Mr. Mingham into this, his company is not part of NAMFS, but he's a nationwide company. He's a nationwide company. He's growing. He's got some growing pains, but you know what? For the most part, over the years, he's kind of been out of the fray of the negativity. And it kind of bugs me when I see the negativity popping up in threads about what's going on. Again, dirty laundry. It's a tough thing when you're going to hang someone's dirty laundry out there without sourcing it, without proof. It is a tough thing. And to me, I'm going to say this. There's a reason I haven't been sued. If you got the facts, if you got the truth, you're spitting it out, then spit it out there. If it's scuttlebutt, say it's scuttlebutt. It's a rumor. We don't know if it's true. We can't verify if it's true. If you have proof, then you have proof. That's called facts. And facts are kind of pesky. They don't go away, do they, Joe? Just like with me. Just like with me, the facts don't go away. And Joe knows what I'm talking about there. So do a lot of other people. But this is really disturbing about NAMFS and what was going on. But here's the thing. We're back at the bid for just a minute and what I was saying in regards to the lien process. These properties are not these companies. So when you submit a bid to a national or regional, any order mill that's issuing a work order, that bid isn't going to HUD. You haven't submitted a bid to HUD. You haven't submitted a bid to Fannie Mae. You haven't submitted a bid to the actual client. You have submitted a bid to an intermediary. Again, Mr. Carnes, we're going to find out who's head of, I'm going to start calling them out too. Fannie Mae, Wells Fargo, and all these people. We're going to start calling them out. And as labor, we need to come together and start calling these atrocities out and these companies out and find out why. Mr. Carnes, can you answer that question? It's a simple question. Why aren't you utilizing the offices in every state to recruit local talent? And here's why I say this. We don't have to worry about is Best Asset licensed in Nevada to conduct business? Because the company that HUD hires in Nevada is already licensed and insured in Nevada. Not rocket science here, folks. It's not rocket science. Come on. It's common. This is common sense. And maybe this is something. Maybe I should send Linda. I'll have to tag Linda McMahon on this. She's a small business administrator. Maybe this is something that she might be able to help us with in the industry. Maybe we've been overlooking the Small Business Administration. Maybe we need to pull them into this a little bit and say, hey, can you give an assist here, Linda? I don't know, but I'm just, what do they call it? Spitballing. I'm throwing stuff in the air. Let's have a conversation is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a conversation. Let's come to the table. There's a comment section down below. Make a goofy screen name up if you need anonymity. But if you got something to say, let's say it. Let's get the conversation going here. Let's start a conversation without the vitriol, without the animosity, the hate, and without the, oh, you're management, oh, you're labor, oh, yeah. We sound like a bunch of damn Democrats and Republicans arguing over health care, for crying out loud. And let's be real for just a minute on health care. We all pay taxes, do we not? Guess who gets free health care? The people arguing over our health care that we're paying for their health care while they're arguing over how we're going to get health care. That is the same thing going on in this industry right now. Management, labor going back and forth and arguing over something that we shouldn't be. We should not be arguing over these things. This should not be an issue. That's not business. It's stealing. What's going on? It's criminal. What's going on? And I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this again. The time has come where we have to come together as an industry, not as labor, not as management, as an industry, because that's what this is. This is a very viable industry. You can make a great living. You can provide for your family if you get all the crap out of the middle. There's just too much poppycock poop in the middle. And there's no reason for it. Every one of these mortgage places, every one of these major banks, every single organization, Fannie Mae, I don't care if they're federal, the VA, the FHA, all these stuff, all these places have offices in every state in the country. Why aren't they being utilized? Why aren't our tax dollars? Think about it, labor. Start saying something. It's our tax dollars that are paying these people not to do their job and paying our politicians to argue over stuff. Maybe we need a different approach. That's all I'm saying. Maybe we need to look at this with different eyes. Maybe we need to sit down and talk and negotiate and come to some agreement where we have some kind of standard minimum in the industry that stops the poppycock nonsense. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. I find it very disturbing that we can go back almost 15 years now to see that fraud and theft was endorsed by the founder of NAMFS. And as I said, God rest a man's soul. I don't like speaking ill of the dead, but that's wrong. And everybody knows it. Are you in the D-Land, Florida area, ladies and gentlemen? D-Land, Florida. Team Ironclad can help you out with your preservation needs, your landscape maintenance needs. Guy down there, hey, I talked to Brett Douglas the other day. He is hopping. It's lawn season in Florida. But and he's very thrilled because he's not having to deal. He's doing what a lot of other companies have done, finding private clients. Getting into the private sector, diversify. John Johnson admitted, hey, this is my first go-round in the rodeo. Do a little due diligence, John. It's like I said, if you need some help, some business 101 help, I can give you, I can help you out. I can show you how to calculate some numbers. Let me throw something at you real quick. I can show you how to figure out your break even on the day, cutting lawns at $20 and cutting lawns at $45. You would think it would take twice as many lawns at $20 than it would $45. Takes more than twice. There's formulas, there's methods to do this. It's called Business 101, ladies and gentlemen. If you need help, hey, I can help. AlladayLLC.com, that's the website. You can find me, AlladayLLC at the Gmail. I'm there. But this story over on Foreclosurepedia is very disturbing. Even this guy's upset. Very, very disturbing, ladies and gentlemen. It's an ongoing story. Again, foreclosurepedia.org. He's got up-to-the-minute fraud reporting. That D-Land, Florida area, Team Ironclad. Get a hold of Brett Douglas over there. 386-774-0800. He can help you out. He can help you out. If you like what you hear, folks, give a thumbs up. Subscribe. It's how it works. That's how it works. We try to put some valuable information out there, and I'm going to say it again. Mr. Carnes, think about what I'm saying, please. The industry needs help. And the one way to do that is utilize the office in Reno to find help to get the properties cleaned up in Nevada. Utilize the offices in Las Vegas to find talent to get the properties cleaned up in Nevada. Given a contract to a company, and this is what I don't understand. They have outfits everywhere. Why are people bidding a nationwide contract? That is absurd. I don't know where that process came from, but it is the most absurd thing I have heard in my life. And this philosophy that you can only make money outsourcing has destroyed a viable industry. It's a terrible mindset. It's a failed business model. Time and time and time and time again. It's no good. Go to foreclosurepedia.org, ladies and gentlemen. Read this article. It is going to open your eyes. I'm going to read one last thing. I can also tell you that based on current HUD M&M contracts that are cost reimbursement, clings do not allow for any markup and are only reimbursed at actual cost. Therefore, to the extent that HUD approved a pass-through expense, any cost savings after the fact would need to be passed on to the government. And that's not going to happen. Back in 2003, I think it was when this was going on, the name Dan Buczek came up, and he called for an audit. And we all know what happened to the Buczeks. They got caught up in the independent contractor employee issue in California. They were in New Jersey. They were not licensed in California. That hurt them. And oh, by the way, that broke their company. That's what the fines did. What do you think is going to happen to Safeguard? What do you think is going to happen to Cyprex, MCS, MSI? These companies that are illegally backcharging you. Cyprex, illegally charging you for workman's comp and not providing it. That's called insurance fraud. They cannot take money out of your check for, if your law doesn't dictate you carry workman's comp on you personally, you're the only guy working for your company. There's a lot of places that have that. You don't have to pay workman's comp on yourself. Most people find an insurance to help them, but workman's comp, because workman's comp premiums are just crazy off the chart. And I feel that is stealing myself. Anyways, when this happens, I hate talking insurance. But when Cyprix takes money because you don't have, and they tell you, well, you're not carrying workman's comp, so we have to take this money. They have to provide you with workman's comp. They can't take money for under an insurance guise and not provide said insurance. It's called insurance fraud. It's theft. They're stealing from you. And if they're doing it to you, I'm going to tell you right now, file on them. You'll get every dime back you paid. And they'll pay it so quick. Why? Because they don't want to get into court with that, because it's illegal. They're stealing from you, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to come together. Labor, it's time to start talking to each other. It's time to start stabbing each other in the back with undercutting bids on each other and all this stuff. It's time to start talking to each other. It's time this industry comes together, comes up with a policy. Think about that, Mr. Miller. Think about that, Mr. Mingham. Think about that, Mr. Newman. And everybody needs, perhaps labor just needs to start instituting this policy as their business model and incorporate it into their business model and just start doing it. And if they don't like it, hey, tough. If you're not going to negotiate with me, I'm not your employee. You negotiate with me or forget it. Maybe labor needs to take the stand. Maybe Craig Carnes needs to think about what I'm saying and get that office in Reno to find talent in Reno to service Nevada properties. Because that's how it should be done. That's how it should be done. Maybe we need to talk to Linda McMahon and get her involved as a small business administrator nationwide here, and maybe she can help facilitate some of the stuff going on. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff in the air for conversation, but we need to have a conversation. You know it, I know it, and everybody in the industry knows it. Take the blinders off, folks. We can't do it anymore. We can't do it anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to get out of here for the day. Let's have a great day. If you like what you hear, give a thumbs up. Subscribe to the station. It's all great. It boosts the ego, and I love it. Hey, let's all have a great day now. Let's all be safe out there, huh?